Hello, everyone. I'm Bruno Tarasco, one of your hosts on UHC, and we are here on Between Two Shells. We're going to interview the finalists of UHC for the season one, and here you can understand the feelings and the techniques and everything about the finalists here on UHC. So, for the first episode, we are interviewing here TinyBoy, and welcome aboard.
Thank you for inviting me to the show.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you for your time to joining us. First of all, I heard that you work as a sysadmin and a blue team member. And how is that experience for you to compete in a offensive security event like a CTF? How do you feel about it?
okay. So yes, I work as a sysadmin, basically a network admin, uh, and also I do a lot of pen testings and all the things for our internal websites and all in our office. So being on the blue team is always been an interesting part of mine because I get to know the how the attacker attacks a box or like a website or yeah, there are multiple attacks go like, every time on each website from all over the world. So I get to see all kind of attacks from the blue teamer point of view, and like some of them get succeeded. And I'm really interested like how could he get into the box, like that part kind of triggers and interests me a lot. And and coming to the red team point of view, it is again it's again a blue team perspective. Looking from a blue team perspective is a completely different view, and attacking from a red team perspective is again completely a different view. So I started getting into the red team part a year ago and a year and a half ago, and this kind of interested me a lot more than a blue team perspective.
Yeah, I see that. Would you say that your experience into the blue team helps you to evolve as a red team?
Yes, definitely yes. Looking for any kind of file that got modified or anything on the machine or on the server. So like what are like after attack or after any possible scenario on the web server, if the attacker is possibly on the box or like configuring firewalls or configuring, even if these are all bypassed. So I would like to see what all files the attacker has modified or attacker has modified, and then like what was his persistence, basically. What was his persistence? How is he getting back the connections? So those kind of things kind of interest me a lot.
So what you're saying is that you can understand better the attacks being used nowadays by just responding to the incidents and investigating what the attackers are doing into the environment that you take care of, and then you can learn from it and apply that as a red team member, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's nice.
Most of the times, I have seen a lot of attacks for like CNC communications. Those kind of things actually interest me a lot. Yeah, how they deploy the CNC, and their communication starts from the bot to the CNC server. So those kind of things are really good. And also the part when it comes to penetration testing, yes, the blue team experience gives me a little more advantage when I try to attack a box or when I try to penetrate a box. That kind of thing helps me a lot.
And one question: how did you start in the cybersecurity career? How did you get interested in that? And how did you discover yourself into the cybersecurity market?
Okay. Initially I was I'm a electronics background person. I'm an electronics engineer. So, but always my passion has always been computers. So it was always my triggering part. Like whenever there's a like some project or something, then I try to involve all my computers part in it, networks part in it, and I try to combine electronics and computers a lot together. And then it all started at my undergrad college when I was in college. And
Okay.
then after, yeah, when I got into the work, I initially was in a different department when where I was doing an electronics thing. But later on, I wasn't feeling that comfortableness in those departments. So then I had to move to the different department or different uh, work. So where I was involved in core network areas, and from there on, I after getting to know some incidents uh, in a friendly environment, then I try like it that was the initial step where I was getting more interested into the cybersecurity, where attacks are going on and blue teams are getting like tortured. In I would say, blue teams are getting tortured because of their teamers, because of non proper compliance in the networks.
Yes, yes. And which topic was the first research that you did? Like, what part of cybersecurity would you say that got you hooked?
So my primary thing was in malwares. I was really interested in malwares. So I used to do reversing the malwares, and I tried to understand what was the malware doing, what was that script doing actually. So those kind of things were interesting. I used there was one challenge from Microsoft, I guess, and I don't remember. Where we had to use, our team had to use machine learning and AI to in a competition. So for classifying whether that binary or DLL was a malware or not,
Were malicious or not, right?
yeah, malicious or not. So that was the initial trigger point, I would say,
Nice. This is
like
nice.
yeah,
Kind of like a malware researcher, right?
yes,
Understand what the
yes,
malwares do, and so that's awesome. It's a huge area. We see many players in the world doing malware research, and it's a great part for both the red team and the blue team to understand what's going on in the world, or what kind of the new attacks are coming up, and what people are up to in the world, right?
yeah.
One question: how did you hear about UHC? How did you get to know us, and when did you decide to join the competition?
Okay. So how I got to go know UHC? I think it was Twitter. Twitter, when I was practicing some boxes on hack the boxes. I think someone shared UHC. There was a competition going on UHC. So I thought I'll give it a try. That was the first attempt I've given a try on that. I think it was I the third semifinalist? Yeah, I think third semifinalist. That was the time I signed up for UHC initial round, and then I got into the top 10, and then later on, luckily, I was fortunate enough to get into the final.
Nice, nice. Were you excited when you got the spot at the final?
Yes, I was. I was actually very much excited. It was very good. The round was very good, and the box came from the box was created by Ipsec, which I really follow him.
Yes, yes, he's a great guy. He's always supporting us here, and in fact, all the machines that we use for UHC comes from Nick
Yeah,
Ipsak.
Ipsec, yeah.
Yes, he's a great guy. And one question: what tools do you use on a daily basis when you're doing red team? Any suggestions or any tools that you may use that's not so common, or do you see yourself using common tools as you see other guys using? Can you tell more about that?
Yeah, on a regular basis, I use normal tools like all the regular tools that everyone uses for malwares, and I use IDA, uh, and then for like PDF for macro analysis, I use PDF. It's a Python tool. It's a great tool in order to look into the stream objects, and to check whether there's any hidden code in it, or and coming to the documents, where as in I for a macros, I again use the same. Uh, what was it? I forgot the object. Okay. John Hammond actually uses those tools, so I try to learn from everyone.
Yeah,
For
John Hammond. John Hammond is a
yeah.
great guy for teaching us some skills on cybersecurity, right?
Yes. He does malware analysis really good, really good. Like he gets into the really good stuff. So and yeah, most of the tools are regular tools. Again, for penetration testing, again, everyone uses the same, almost similar tools, I guess. Uh,
Yes.
so that's
And one
yeah.
question for you. When you're doing CTFs, do you have like a planning on a set of steps that you usually do, or it kind of depends on what you see at first, or you already have your own methodology?
So yes, I have a particular plan, but again, it might differ from one person to person. Again, I start off generally looking at the codes. After looking at the codes, if there's a website, I just go click all the links on the website to see what exactly is there on the website. And then if I don't find anything, I'll go half with the fuzzing. Then fuzzing, then like if I find something to get onto the box, then try all the techniques or all the parameters, whatever is there. Um, like I try, but most part interesting is I try manually. I try to do it manually first because yeah, anyways, the script might be doing it. I run it in the background and I try to interact with the website manually first, so that I get to know how the response of what is the response that I'm getting from the server if it's a web application or any application. We try to interact with it, and then only we get to know what how is the server replying to us. So yeah, and after that, if I get any privilege escalation, and again, privilege escalations are again normal. If I see anything on the box, yes, for lin peas and win peas are go tos that I would say. So or if I don't find anything, then it's a manual interaction with the server again, box again. Then persistence, yes, persistence is always needed. Yes.
Okay, good. Um, would you say would you play any other CTFs? Is there any other CTFs that you usually play, or you mainly focus on HTB or and UHC?
Okay, HTV is the one I generally play, but even nowadays I wasn't getting too much time. I was busy with workloads and all, so I couldn't get much time to play in recent times. So I'll get up again. I'll get onto the platform again.
Nice, nice. Do you have any tools or sorry, do you have any tips for people who is trying to join the cybersecurity market, or any tips for people who are just interested in knowing better the cybersecurity market?
Okay, the tips I would give out to the people who are trying to join the cybersec world. First, you need to decide which part are you want to go. Like there are different verticals in cybersec domain, so many verticals. So choose one vertical at a time and focus on it and try to master it. That's how I try to do it. Like I choose one vertical and I try to get into that vertical and dig it until there's nothing. So
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, because we just see people roaming around. They're trying to figure out what their space is, and they are trying to learn one piece from one place and another piece from another place, and we just see them everywhere, but no focus at all. They can't realize what they are trying to achieve. They're just studying and trying to research on things that they might need, but there's no real focus. That's a great tip. Thanks for that. And one thing, how was the feeling and how was the sensation that you got when you finally got the spot on the final for UHC? How was the competition in the semifinal? How did you feel through the process? Were you listening to the broadcast? How was it?
okay, so again, it was pretty exciting. Pretty exciting when I heard that I was the winner. Like I wasn't going through the stream actually because I was just focused on what I was doing, and I heard that I just had the audio listening audio. I couldn't see the video part because I was solving the problems. So I was just like, I just heard my name and I was like pretty excited. Like, yeah, I won it. I got a spot on finals, and I'll be traveling to traveling for finals. So I was pretty excited for that.
Nice. This is nice. This must be awesome. And during the competition, when you're hearing, did you feel afraid of someone getting ahead of you? How was it?
Yes, like the when if I'm hearing to the conversation, I my mind will be diverted to that. My mind, I'm easily diverted to that. I should focus on one single thing. I always focus on one single thing. So if I'm getting a disturbance, then I easily get diverted to that point. So yes, I was listening to the conversation in between, not too much. So uh, yeah, that's it. I was listening, but not much. So
Are you
so
excited for the final
it
now?
actually gives me attention. Like it gives me attention. Like if is somebody leading, or am I in the last spot?
Yes.
Am I already there?
Yes.
So
Yes. I think that on the second to last final that we had a competitor turning the points into like the last 3 minutes on the competition. So that was really crazy. And
oh
I think that I won the last. Yes. We can show the video later here, and everyone can can see that it was totally crazy. And I want to ask you: are you excited for the final? What are you expecting for the final? And tell me more about it. How do you feel about it? And what are your expectations? What do you think you're gonna face here in Brazil?
yes, I'm really excited for the finals. It's my first final outside a country. Outside my country. Yes, but it's a very long tour, I would say, long journey, I would say. I think. Okay, expectations. I'm not really worried about my rank in the world. I find lucky to be on the top finalists, so that's it. And expectations, I really don't have much expectations. I would write. It's a good platform where I could meet people of the same domain. It's a good exposure, I would say. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And are you afraid of the Brazilians who are competing to their own turf?
Uh, yeah, see, Silesian and other guys are already top leaders. So I'm not much afraid of it, but it's a good point. Again, it's good to meet them in person, and maybe we can
Exactly.
share some knowledge.
Yes, they are great guys. I hope you guys just have fun and enjoy yourselves. And like I said, that's an international exposure event.
Yeah,
You guys are getting a great name into the market, and everyone is seeing that what you guys have accomplished.
yeah.
Thank you for this interview, and we are really excited to have you here in the final. And I hope you make great here.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
And that was it. And I would like to thank again TinyBoy for joining us here. If you can subscribe to the channel and you can like this video. And all the videos from the first season is going to be available into our YouTube channel, and you can check out the competition, how it went, and all the techniques that the people used to hack the boxes that we provide to them. So I hope to see you into the next episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Você é um artista, Bruno.